Hello, everyone, and we are back for another Fan Expo preview. It is that time of year again in Cleveland. It is Fan Expo season, and I'm really excited to get this going because this is always one of our favorite times of year over here at Watt Entertainment because we get to just let our geek out a little bit more.
You
Of
got
course,
that right.
of course, I'm not alone. I am joined by co-founder himself, Nick Molbach.
I have
Nick,
no clue what I was doing at the beginning there. For some reason, peace signs were my. I've never done that before on here. But yeah, no, we are back and ready to go for Fan Expo. I guess this is what, year 2 under Fan Expo or year 3?
this is year 3 under Fan
Yeah.
Expo, I'm pretty sure.
So it has always been, like Matt said, one of our favorite times of the year. Always a time to go and spend a lot of money
Nah.
supporting local artists if you are. And one of my favorite local artists, my brother, is going to be there this year. But I figured I'd get that in at the beginning, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, no, it's always a fun time, especially for local artists. But what if you're new here to our Expo previews? What we typically try to do is we try to cover some of the stars and talents that you'll be able to see this weekend, as well as some of the booths you can stop by and see, and at least a few of the panels. So. First and foremost, we're going to start off, as we always do, with the talent because that's what a lot of people come to these conventions for. And I gotta say, this is the one that broke my dad's heart because he's like, I may have to pay for an autograph for the first time in years, and that's Jared Padalecki from Supernatural. I just gotta say, I was thrilled when Jared was announced as a big Supernatural fan myself. But not only was Jared announced, it feels like almost the entire cast of Supernatural, Sans, Dean, and Bobby was announced to go with it. It's crazy to just be like, oh, we're getting Samantha Smith, who plays their mother. We're getting Ruth Connell, who plays Crowley's mother. DJ Qualls, who I absolutely love in the film Road Trip. He's the skinny little guy who ends up falling for the thick black woman in Road Trip. Love him in that film. So I'm very excited for like a mini Supernatural reunion. And you got Felicia Day, who's well known for her role in Supernatural, but also the Netflix show The Guild. And she's a great comedian as well. This I will say this. We talked about this as guests were being announced. This is a very CW heavy.
I was about to say, yeah, this was a very, very, very CW heavy con. I'm sure that we'll get into some of the other people that are going to be there, but if you're a big fan of the superhero shows when it comes to the CW, you're going to be seeing a ton of them as well. And, it is kind of it's interesting to me because like the CW was always that local channel that everybody uh they used to have wrestling on there, so that was kind of what drew me into watching their channel. And then obviously they had all the superhero shows and all of the, I would say, our age range type of shows. As we kind of grew up, that channel kind of grew up with us, if that makes any sense. And
Yeah, because that's where Kids WB was, and then as you
right.
grew out of Kids WB, you started checking out stuff like Dawson's Creek and just some of the more semi-adult sitcoms and reruns. But chief among those questionable shows what you're watching at a young age was a show called Smallville, which kind of launched the superhero television show into the successful stratosphere we know it today. And we have the stars and Michael Rosenbaum, Tom Welling, and Erica Durant, who will all be at Fan Expo this year, which I'm so excited because I'll plug this right now. Superman podcast, which I'm pretty behind on, and I got to fix that. But yeah.
But if you've been here long enough, you know that this was the second that it was announced. Matt's texting me like, "Oh my God, look who's going to be here!" I'm like, perfect timing. At least whether it was going to be grabbing an interview or something like that. At least there's, and we'll get into them later, panels that will be able to be showcased and stuff like that. That tie directly into what we're doing here over on the channel. You know what I mean? Which I think is perfect considering where we're from. You know,
Yes.
and Superman means such a big deal to our city, and we have many of the faces who have played Superman primarily in the CW, funny enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that are going to be at this convention.
Yeah, and that ties into our next CW guest, and that's Tyler Hoechlin, who is also known for his voice acting in the Final Fantasy series, as well as playing Derek Hale in a guilty pleasure show of mine, the MTV Teen Wolf series.
That's right.
Posey. I always got to give Teen Wolf a little bit of a shout out. But yeah, him and his show wife, Bitsy Tulik, who plays Lois Lane, will both be at Fan Expo Cleveland this year. And all I'm missing are the Kent boys. Like, that's all I'm missing. I just give me Jonathan. I need my Kents. I need my Kents. But I did. I did enjoy that show overall. It just finished its final season this past fall, late November, I want to say. And fans got to say goodbye to it. And it's a nice thing to see that these talents are making the rounds. Other CW shows coming. And I almost forgot Laura Vandervoort from Smallville. She plays Supergirl. Almost missed her. Can't do that. All other CW stars showing up are the likes of Brandon Routh from Legends of Tomorrow, but more importantly, Superman from Superman Returns. Dean Cain, who's not a CW star, but is a Superman, and also just
Grant Gustin.
Yeah, thank you, Grant Gustin. Thank you, and a good portion of the Flash crew. You have Danielle Panabaker, as well as Tom Cavanaugh, which that's just awesome. I'm a big Cavanaugh guy as a director and an actor, so I was excited about that.
He's a common name at this one, though, isn't he?
We haven't had him before.
In a good way. I mean, like, you know, he's always coming out and supporting, you know, and being there for fans and stuff like that. And that's kind of what all this is all about, you know. It is a way to be able to represent your fandom and show off, while also, you know, checking out and being able to meet somebody that has inspired you so many times.
Yeah, but we all know what Nick cares about or cares for the most when it comes to Tom Cavanaugh, and that's as Ranger Smith in Yogi Bear.
Oh gosh, the live action Yogi Bear. Yeah. You're right. That is a fever dream.
Call back.
That's right. Oh my gosh, that's one of those things. I mean, I know that I have a friend who, when he went to go and meet the Russo brothers, he got a You, Me, and Dupree poster signed. It's just like, you know, that here's my Yogi Bear poster. Will you sign that? You know, listen, there's fandoms for everything, and we don't fandom shame here. So it's like, you know, if you are going to
be fair, you have told me you've enjoyed watching that film before.
Of course, it's a ridiculous movie, and you gotta love it for what it's worth. I'm always a fan of cartoons going into the real world and looking horrendous. But yeah, no, overall, it's a great celebrity lineup, a lot of voice actors and voice talent. If you are a fan of a lot of animes and stuff like that,
I was about to say, let's talk about the one show that everybody calls an anime, but it's not, and that's Avatar: The Last Airbender, where we have the voice actor for Toph and Azula and Zuko himself, Dante Bosco, aka Rufio, coming. And I just got to say, I'm fairly excited for. I'm a big Great Lyle fan. I'm a big Michaela Jill Murphy fan. I don't know if you follow her on social media, but she's one of the most interesting follows due to the fact of you can see how much she still treasures this character and how much she knows this character means to fans, and she always seems to be trying to make fans' days whenever you see her post interactions, and I just find that awesome. I love her for it. Like, it's great.
Something I just want to mention, because I had the website pulled up. If we're going into the animated stuff, I just want to mention Giancarlo Esposito how can we forget, is also going to be at this convention.
And Manny Jacinto, both of Star Wars fame.
Mm-hmm.
Although one is definitely well more received by the general fan base than others. I liked both of those characters.
And David Tennant.
Hu Yang, the MVP of Ahsoka. You can't forget Hu Yang.
And Charlie Cox. There's so many people to mention, and so many celebrities, and we could go on and on for days.
Oh, we got to give Charlie Cox a little bit more love, because that man has a banger of a television series going on right now on Disney Plus, where episode 4 drops tomorrow. And I know Nick hasn't watched the show at all, but he needs to, because I know
not quite yet. I will get there.
I know. I said he needs to. I said I know you haven't watched it, so I wasn't. I knew you didn't have to respond. I already knew the answer. But I know, considering I know you watched the Netflix show back all those years ago, it's right up your damn wheelhouse. And
absolutely.
And we'll get into him a little bit later, but he has a panel, and I'm excited to go to that. But yes, back to the animated. I know there's one you're particularly excited about, and that is Miss Gray Delisle, who has, aside from being a part of the Avatar crew, has voiced a lot of characters over the years, but one in particular that I know is near and dear to Nick Mulbach's heart.
Oh, well, yes, Charles Martinet will be there.
No.
I
just said there's a character near and dear to your heart that Gray Delisle voices.
Oh, Daphne?
Yes.
Yes. I thought we were talking about characters, but Charles Martinet will be there. For all my Luigi fans out there. I think he's supposed to be.
No, he's not supposed to be here.
Oh, he's on the merchandise. Mario's on the merchandise. That's what made me think about it.
Yeah, no, but yeah. So Gray Delisle, who's done Azula, was the voice of Catwoman in the Batman Arkham series. Has been the voice of Daphne Blake for years. And just has this amazing filmography. My personal favorite performance of hers is she is the original voice of Asajj Ventress in the 2D Star Wars animated Clone Wars series. And I've got to meet her once before, and it was awesome. But she is just in so many things, and she's been the voice of so many pieces of our childhood, including Frankie Foster from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. We could just go on and on, but so excited to get to see her again.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm assuming we're moving on to booths now.
Well, we still got game talent to talk about, sir.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, can't forget about well, there is anime talent we got to talk about still, and game talent. And we got to give comic creators some love. Okay, so I will be forthcoming and honest. There's only one anime on this list, so I don't know a lot about a lot of these actors. There's only one anime on this list that I watched, and that's Dragon Ball. So I'm excited for Kyle Hebert, who voices adult Gohan in the Dragon Ball series. Other than that, for the fans of One Piece, Michelle Rojas and Stephanie Young are both going to be there. For fans of My Hero Academia, Chris Weckamp and Leah Clark will also be there. For fans of Fairy Tail, Brittany Karbowski will be there. For fans of Frieren Beyond, Journey's End, and Fairy Tail, Mallory Rodak will be there. And for fans of for Jujutsu Kaisen, Nicholas Roy will also be there. I love Gohan. I love Goku. I'm a big Saiyan guy for Dragon Ball, so I won't go too in depth because considering I don't know a lot of the other talent, wouldn't be fair to. But I digress. Then this is the one that means a lot to me. I know you aren't the biggest video game guy. However, we mentioned Tyler Hoechlin as Cloud in Final Fantasy. The original voice, George Newbern, who was also the voice of Superman in the Justice League animated series, will also be there, along with, of course, we talked about him up front, Michael Rosenbaum, who has voiced the Flash at multiple points over the years, including the Justice League animated series.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly to me, because this is the most recent video game and a killer performance, Troy Baker.
Yes,
Who
Indiana Jones.
Yes, but a lot of people also know him for being Joel in The Last of Us. He was Jason Todd, Red Hood in the Arkham Knight. He plays Nathan Drake's brother in the Uncharted series. He does a lot. And I mean, this man he does a lot.
He's a busy guy.
He's also, for Nick's excitement, the voice of the Joker in a lot of the more recent
in a lot of the later Arkham games.
No. And a lot of the DC animated films that have come out of the last few years.
I just know his involvement. He voices Batman too in some of the Arkham games, I believe.
Yes, he does a lot.
He's a busy guy.
Yes, very busy. So he is just another one of those just talents you love seeing around. And I know a lot of Last of Us fans are probably going to be there. So be sure to go check out Troy Baker. And I think that covers it when it comes to guests. Now, planning your visit. I got to get the list of people up. Exhibitor directory. All right, so we'll talk about the show floor first, because that's what a lot of people come to this for. So we'll start off with the retailers, because we'll start off with retailers and go with the artist alley second. There we go. Sorry, brain fart. So there, for my comic collectors, there are places like what looks to be Bill's Books and More. Comic wise, Comics Are Go.
I mean, when it comes to the map, while you're thinking about that, it's just kind of it is so much fun to go there and explore and kind of check out what it is. If there's something that you are interested in, there is going to be somebody that is going to be doing something when it comes to what you're interested in. That's kind of the nice thing about these cons, just in general, is that they play to people's interests to a T, and that is one of the best things about it.
Yes, absolutely. And a couple other comic shops you'll be able to see there is Gem City Books, Groundbreaking Comics, Hero Tomorrow Comics. So there will be a few. So other important places to go to. There will be plenty, of course, weapons caches and things like that. Places to get lightsabers like DX Sabers, and I think I saw Saber Theory is supposed to be on this list also. But you'll be able to check out a ton of these places along the show floor. I know I will look at the sabers, but I will not be buying a saber. That is a rule I have set for myself this year. No buying sabers. But Orchard Works, who we love seeing almost every year here, they do custom Harry Potter ones. Great work. I love seeing them here. Just a lot of toy collection. We love to see it. And I am just so...
And just make sure that when you go there, obviously my brother is a big one, but make sure that you just support your local artists.
We were getting to that.
I'm just talking. Yes, okay, Matt. Just continue to rattle off things. I was just making a point. That's all.
The artists are getting their own moment, dude. You don't have to rattle off a point. But yeah, and then of course Nick and I's favorite thing to get every year: Wild Bills. Yeah. And then there's also Roosevelt's.
It looks like they might have some new flavors, so make sure you go and check them out.
We're hoping. Nick was at another con recently. And yes, it got Nick excited. Moving on, we do have a ton of artists here. As Nick said, Toon Tom, which is his brother. Got to see if Tom Zoller's here this year. It doesn't look like Tom's. Oh, that breaks my heart a little bit because that's a family friend. I love seeing Tom at these things. Just oh my God, they're so MLB designs, Muse tape, cat jacket, chroma coma, Cleverland puzzle. Just so many. Donald L. Templeman is. Oh, I have to see if my man, the coaster guy, is going to be here. He is local, so he should be. I need a couple more of his coasters. It's just personal.
He's always a great one to hit up.
Yes, he is. It's a personal thing. But so much to check out there. You'll get lost on the show floor. You'll enjoy the show floor, and just ultimately you'll find something you love. Theory Sabers will also be there.
Oh gosh. And something that I did want to mention, and I'm sure you're getting to it, but if we were transitioning, is local events, local companies,
yes,
and stuff like that will have their goods. The Asian Festival will be there and have their booth with performances going on throughout the entire weekend. There's a schedule on their Facebook page, so there's a little bit of a mix of everything when it comes to the show floor, when it comes to Fan Expo. And as I said before, you're always going to be able to find something that you enjoy when it comes down to it.
Yes. So let's start off with this schedule. We'll name a few things you'll be able to check out here. First major thing that of note that I know people will care about is a Q&A with Star Wars Theory. We may not be Star Wars Theory fans here. However, we do know that there are a ton of people who are. So if you are interested in checking out Star Wars Theory, you can do that. He's doing a Q&A first day, Friday at 3:15 p.m. Then at 4, there's a Beyond the Journey, a Q&A with Buren's Mallory Rodick. A Plus Ultra, a My Hero Academia panel at 4:30. And at 4:45, this will probably be the first panel I cover that day, Avatar The Last Airbender 20th Anniversary Cast panel. Real excited for that. That's going to be in the main theater, Ballroom, BC. You have Straw Hat Stories, a Q&A with Stephanie Young. There will be pin trading for people who do that stuff. I know our friend Brian, who unfortunately can't make it to the con this year, would normally do this because he does it at Disney all the time, and you never know what Disney pin someone may bring there.
That's right.
Then at 5:45, from executive producers Dwayne Johnson, Brian Volkweiss, and Danny Garcia, RoboForce, the animated screening, or the animated series advanced screening and panel. It is join the Nacelle company, Netflix, the toys / movies that made us Disney behind the attraction icons on Earth, for an exciting panel where you can be one of the first to watch an entire episode of the highly anticipated RoboForce, the animated series, and learn more about the show from the creators themselves. The Nacelle team will be there to answer your questions about the series and also touch on the future of Nacelle's animated shows, toys, comics, and more.
Now that's a very exciting opportunity.
Yes, it is. And then other panels you can check out that day will include this one is one I think is important: mental wellness and cosplay, breaking the stigma together, as well as a Q&A with Aidan Scott from the live action One Piece series, and a myth busting panel at 7:15 with Adam Savage,
which is awesome.
Yes, and then at 8 p.m. on Friday, Heroes and Villains After Party. The night is just getting started. Whether you're repping the heroes or the causing or causing chaos with the villains, this after party is where the action continues. DJ, dancing, giveaways, and drinks for purchase, all without leaving the convention center.
Awesome.
Might be a late night. We'll see. And then follow that up with Saturday. Saturday, I know, is a busy day for you in general because you help host that panel with Johnny, and we'll talk about that in a few. But at 10:15, we have movies. Cleveland takes the leading role, hosted by the Film Commission. Why does Hollywood love to film in Northeast Ohio? Locations, 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 locations. From skyscrapers to small towns, beachfront to backwoods, Cleveland has a unique ability to transform itself into any location filmmakers need it to be. Join Greater Cleveland Film Commission President Bill Garvey and production coordinator Mike Wendt as they take you behind the scenes of some of your favorite movie locations right in your own backyard. And considering what just shot here this past summer, I think that's going to be an interesting panel to check out. Superman. Anyways, at 10:45, if you missed the Friday Star Wars Theory Q&A, there will be another one, so you can check that out there. Cosplay techniques for every level on every budget. There will be at 11 tabletop gaming, Dungeons and Dragons. A lot of photo op times posted here. Nintendo cosplay meetup, comic bingo, more pin training, autism communication across fandoms, which I think is awesome and important.
Definitely.
Fan Expo Cleveland is a great place to meet other people who are into the same stuff as you and people who are in different stuff than you, and even people whose brains work differently than yours. We will look at fun ways to communicate across fandoms and across neurotypes. That's important. That's
Very
awesome.
important.
That's something different that they haven't done before, and I'm excited to maybe check that out and give a little bit of coverage to that. At 12:15, though, that is the first major panel of the day, and that is the Daredevil panel with Charlie Cox. Daredevil Unmasked, a panel with Charlie Cox. You'll be able to discuss his role as Daredevil, as well as he shares stories from the set and gives insights into bringing the blind hero to life. You'll also probably be able to ask him about other stuff he's done, like the film Stardust, which I feel like doesn't get enough love. So yes, go check that out. There's a Captain America Brave New World movie recap and review at 12:45. There's a 3D printing panel at 1 o'clock. A ton of cosplay meetups. This is something we would have entered Nick in if it were not for a scheduling conflict, which we'll talk about in a minute, but a Clark Kent lookalike contest at 2 p.m., as well as a 2 p.m. panel called Not Nap Time with Azawa, Chris Weckamp, Q&A. Excuse me. And then at 2 p.m., this is the conflict we were talking about, featuring award-winning filmmakers Johnny K. Wu, Keith Collins, and Nick Molbach. And
otherwise, if you read it, it is Nick Molbach.
Yeah, I was about to say, boy, there are typos here. And learn the basic way to add fight choreography safely into your film with a hands-on approach. So that should be fun to cover. And at 2:15, oh God, I'm going to be jumping from panel room to panel room, aren't I? Master of Villains Giancarlo Esposito unveiled from The Mandalorian, Far Cry 6, as well as, in my personal opinion, I still have this as one of my favorite roles of his, bugging out from Do the Right Thing.
That's correct.
Man had his J's stepped on and lost his damn mind. And then, again, a lot of photo ops. It's so weird that this year they're putting all the photo op times in here. I appreciate it, but at the same time, it's making this a hell of a lot harder to read because you have to keep scrolling past them.
I was going to say, when it comes down to it, they're the next panel that I have noticed, at least, is at 4:30.
You got There's what I got one right here. I got to give some shine to it. 2:30. A spotlight on Star Wars and Superman with House of L author Claudia Gray. Claudia Gray has also been the author of some of the best Star Wars books in the new canon, like Master and Apprentice, Lost Stars, and so many others. Check those out. Her Leia book is awesome as well. No, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say the Dante Bosco panel. Neverland Adventures, Dante Bosco talks Hook.
Classic movie of mine.
We also have a Gohan panel.
At 4:30. Yeah. No, that's the Gohan, get to know Gohan, Dragon Ball Q&A with Kyle Hebert.
At 6 p.m., Matthew, if you would like to.
4:45, the Flashcast reunites. Got to give that a shine.
I don't know how I missed that. Okay. At 6 o'clock, Matt, what's going on there?
The Many Faces of Superman, a Man of Steel. It's a big Superman panel that I'm probably going to have to be at for that. And we'll probably send Nick to cover Are You Smarter Than a Winchester? Yeah. But yeah, there's a ton going on. And then a separate ticket required event ends the night at 7:30. And folks, you just prepare yourself because the cost of the ticket, while high, some would argue is worth it. And that is Smallville Nights. It is a panel featuring Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum, and they are bringing Smallville to life like never before at Fan Expo Cleveland. From reading iconic scenes with fans to directing fans in unforgettable moments, this one-night-only event promises laughter, nostalgia, and a few surprises. Attendees will leave with a special keepsake, and a few lucky fans will win prizes straight from the collections of Tom and Michael. Don't miss your chance to join the fun, relive the drama, and witness the ultimate Smallville's throwback. It's a cool way to interact with fans. Talkville, which has become one of my favorite podcasts during this Views from Metropolis journey, you see that these two still have some great chemistry.
That's
and
right.
Just they're both filmmakers. They both have directed episodes of Smallville and other television series, and being directed by them and trying to see them not break through some of these lines is going to be so funny. I've heard good things about this show from people who have seen it in other cities, so I'm excited for that. If the press pass can get us in, I don't know if it can.
That's right.
I'm gonna try. We'll see.
Of course. Yeah. All right. Sunday.
Yes, Sunday. It's a lot of smaller panels, scavenger hunts, video game free play. But then you have a panel like Epic Voices Behind the Mic with Kyle Hebert, Grey DeLisle, George Newbern, and Michaela Jill Murphy. Join iconic voice actors George Newbern, Grey DeLisle, Kyle Hebert, and Michaela Jill Murphy for a star-studded panel celebrating the art of voice acting, from Justice League to Invader Zim to Dragon Ball Z and beyond. These talented performers have brought to life some of your favorite characters in animated series, video games, and more. Making fandom, this is a cool little panel they're doing. Making fandom accessible, Braille button creation, that's cool. Mm-hmm. More Dungeons and Dragons. I think this is the only day David Tennant is actually at the con now that I'm thinking about it. But at 11:30, the One Piece is real. The anime voice cast speaks. This is very. At 12:45, From the Good Place to Greatness, a conversation with Manny Jacinto, who I love as the Stranger in The Acolyte. He's also in Top Gun Maverick and The Good Place, so you can check out that panel. Mischief Managed. How did we forget talking about these two? Especially
I just figured it would come eventually. I realized that we didn't say anything.
Yeah, but the Weasley twins are here this weekend, and you'll be able to see them and their panel Sunday at 1 p.m. As well as there's a Star Wars charity fundraising. From the Guild to the Stars, Felicia Day's Geek Empire, Jujutsu Kaisen panel at 2:30, a tier list game show. Crafting at 3:15 on Sunday, crafting iconic characters, a conversation with Troy Baker, and at 3:30 on Sunday, Somebody Save Me, the Smallville cast reunites in the main theater ballroom. So there will be another Smallville panel for those people who can't go on Saturday if you have a full weekend ticket. And then finally, the panel to end it all, Regenerating the Doctor, a conversation with David Tennant. So that is, I think, everything. I think we got it all covered, don't we, Nick?
There's one more thing that for some reason isn't on the schedule that I should probably mention for Sunday. It has to do with us.
I noticed the
no, shit. Sorry, pardon my French. Saturday at 4. It's our panel.
Oh, okay.
Lightsabers. We missed it.
I was wondering because I'm like, I didn't see it. Like,
yeah,
I was looking. Is it under a different name?
It might be. Yeah. Either way, it's at 4. Come and check it out. Come and play with lightsabers with us. But yeah, overall, I think that we've covered everything that we possibly can when it comes to this convention. Just go and have fun. Whatever it is that you are interested in, you're going to have an opportunity to have an amazing time. This is a great event every single year that we go to, and we're lucky enough to not only be able to cover, but just be able to enjoy it.
Yes. And I'm excited. I always love doing this, and it's just the best. So just a few housekeeping things. Tomorrow, check out mine and Jess review for the studio. It's finally dropping. I know. I'm behind. Life happens. Life gets in the way. So the studio, the review for that drops tomorrow. It was one of my most anticipated shows of this year, and I will say I have thoughts. Spoiler-free thoughts, but thoughts nonetheless. If you haven't already, check out our review for The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Jeff got to see that, and he gave you guys a nice, solid review to go check out. My review of Novocaine, Nathan Cain Can't Feel Pain, the Jack Quaid starring film, is out, and you can go check that out. And finally, my review for Black Bag is also out, so go check that out as well. It was a busy week last week.
It absolutely was. Oh, my goodness.
Nick, anything you want to plug real quick before we head out of here?
Everyday Dread on YouTube. But also just, glad to be back, glad and really excited for this weekend and to do more. And it's going to be a really good time. So if you're at the convention and you see this video, make sure you stop by and say hello. You might make it into our recap. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good one, folks. I am Matt. That is Nick. And this was another
Oh, sorry.
Real Talk. We'll see you next time.